Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about the most important case law Keshwananda Bharati Sri Padagalvaru versus State of Kerala 1973. Here the petitioner is Keshwananda Bharati and the respondent is State of Kerala. Coming to the facts of the case, here the Kerala government has introduced an act called Kerala Land Reform Act 1963. It is amended again in 1969 as well. Was enacted to fulfill the socio-economic obligation of Kerala under the principles of the direct to principles of the state policy. And the state government acquired the land Ednir Mutt in the Kasaragod district of Kerala of Swamiji Keshwananda Bharati. Coming to the issue, petitioner challenged the court under the Article 32 for the enforcement of rights under Article 25, Article 26. Article 25 and Article 26 related to the religious matters, and Article 14 as well, and Article 19 Clause 1 Subclause F means it is related to the property, and Article 31 which is an right to property, and challenged 24th, 25th and 29th amendments of the Constitution as well. Here in the previous judgment, Golaknath case, SC order no amendment should be made on fundamental rights, and RC Cooper case struck down the Bank Nationalization Act 1969, which is created by an ordinance in the Indira Gandhi government regime. The government given counter in making the 24th and 25th Amendment Act to court judgment to nullify the Golaknath case judgment and RC Cooper case judgment. Here we can see an fight between the government and the judiciary. Means we can directly say that it is a fight between the legislative and the judiciary. It is a continuous fight in the time. Every time this happens. And coming to the case, the government given counter in 24th and 25th Amendment by creating it. And 29th Amendment Act is Kerala Land Reform Act. This case is related to the Kerala Land Reform Act only. And 1 minute friends. Yes. And coming to the arguments, petitioner argued that Constitution gave freedom to people from any future tyranny of representatives of the people. Means Constitution isn't people's constitution, we all know, and it should be no any arbitrariness, and the people who are the rulers of the country. But petitioner argued in that statement and mentioned that thus the Article 31C cannot be taken away by amending it. This argument is based on case law restricted the power of parliament making any amendment that which damages the basic features principle. It is the judgment Mudalkar and Sajjan Singh case 1964, which is a very important case law we should observe, because the basic features principle is first mentioned in the 1964, but again it is mentioned in the Keshwananda Bharati case, and it taken the implementation from the 1973, taking as the base from the Keshwananda Bharati case. And coming to the case, respondent gave the arguments to the court in this manner. Parliament has to power to amend the constitution itself if required, and the powers are unlimited, and they mentioned that they can also amend the constitution itself if it thinks fit, but it damages the culture of the constitution which we made, because it is a people's constitution, and the lawmakers cannot simply taken away the constitution and amend it and follow the basic structure of the constitution and destroy the basic structure of the constitution. And coming to the judgment, It is a 13 judge bench and 7:6 majority laid down that Parliament has power to amend the Constitution under Article 368. It overruled the judgment of Golaknath case that which mentioned that Parliament can not make any act that which abrogate the fundamental rights. So, and it overruled the judgment of the Golaknath case and mentioned that Parliament can make any law and amend the constitution also, but it mentioned that the most important principle, friends, we should remember it, that basic structure of constitution has been laid in this case, and it also mentioned that an act can be made, but the basic structure of the constitution should not be disturbed. The laws enacted are open to the judicial review under the name Directive Principles of the State Policy. In this case, we can observe that in the name of Directive Principles of the State Policy, they taken the law of Kerala Land Reform Act. These type of laws can be open to the judicial review and be questioned in the court. So judicial review has been taken. It is also an important point in this case. And the next one, the laws enacted are open to the judicial review, we completed it. And the next point, the laws included in the 9th schedule can be challenged in the court of law on the grounds that they abrogate the basic element structure. The laws included in the 9th schedule challenged in the court can also be challenged in the name of the basic element structure. And we should main important observe that in the 1973 itself, 9 principles has been laid down under the basic structure doctrine, and there are 20 principles after that case has been laid down. And the 20 principles are namely supremacy of the constitution, sovereign, democratic and republican nature of the Indian polity, secular character of the constitution, separation of powers between the legislature, the executive and the judiciary, federal character of the constitution, unity and integrity of the nation, welfare state, judicial review as we mentioned here now, freedom and dignity of the individual, parliamentary system, rule of law, harmony and balance between fundamental rights and directive principles, principles of equality, free and fair elections, independence of judiciary, limited power of parliament to amend the constitution, and effective access to justice, principles underlying fundamental rights, powers of the Supreme Court under Article 32, 136, 141 and 142, powers of High Court under Article 226 and 227. These first 9 principles are given by the Supreme Court in the 1973 judgment itself, and the another 11 principles had been laid down in the different kind of judgments up to the last judgment given is 2014 Madras Bar Association case. Okay friends, up to this case, this information is enough, and if any queries you can ask in the comment section, and if any doubts or flaws in my case you can as well as mention in the comment section. I will typically reply to your comment. Thank you.